Welcome back to Switched to Linux. Woo! Hope you enjoyed that cuteness that we started with. That was kind of cute, really, wasn't it? All right, just got to put my thing there in my pocket. So, all right, well, it has happened. It has happened. We have indeed crossed 5,000 subs. Of course, that actually happened yesterday, but we're going to go ahead and kind of chat about it today and kind of talk about what we're going to do next and get some thoughts from you guys. What are some of those perspectives we could have? And I found just yet another exciting story that's it just can't wait until next Friday. So we're just going to go ahead and chat about that and just some other random. We're just kind of essentially just kind of hang out today. I'll just shoot the breeze, whatever else we want to talk about. So. Oh boy, let's go ahead and jump in on the comments there. Let's see, what do we got? Okay, so I did have a request for an earlier stream, so I was curious. If I have 3 streams a week is what I do. If I moved one of them to an earlier time, would that be good or would that be bad for people? So maybe like a 5 o'clock. The Saturday would be like 5 o'clock. The Friday would be at 9 o'clock, and the Wednesday would stay at 7 o'clock. So what do you guys think about those times? That way I can have a few more streams at a few different times, because a lot of folks are like, want to watch the live streams, but having them the same consistent time is a little goofy. So, we'll just go ahead and play that by ear. But let me know how that would work, and if that would be good. So I would do Wednesday 7 p.m. and these are all Eastern time. Friday 9 p.m. and those would stay the same. And then I could move the Saturday to like 5 p.m. which generally would work. Those days it wouldn't, but generally it would probably work for me. Hello, Kitty. How are you? Kitty just came up saying, greetings. So he's just chilling his time up here. Let's see. Do I have a kitty toy that he can play with right now? Yeah. No, you can have that one. You can have that one. There you go. All right. So, Keegan Trout, 30 minutes till start time. Yes. We are started now. That must have been done 30 minutes ago. Ooh. Haddock. All right. Thank you for the congrats. And JJ Games raises the T and plays Slavic hard bass. I've never heard Slavic hard bass, but you know what? For me, celebration. Excuse me. Get off my desk. You're not allowed up there. You're not allowed on my desk. For me, my celebration, about all the soda I drink. I make it myself. And this is I think this is like a fuzzy navel flavored soda, if I remember correctly. No alcohol in it or anything. I don't drink, but it's definitely like a fuzzy navel flavor, I believe. Celebration indeed. All right, let's see who else we got. Zyphoid, maybe you could do a Saturday streams a little earlier, 3 a.m. over here right now. Yeah, so that would put the live streams, if I do them at 5, that puts the live streams at, is that 11 your time? 12, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that would be 11 o'clock your time. Zyphoid process, would that work? Tech Bismo, greetings, sir. And the Lamer Linux, hello, sir. James Miller, greetings. Haddock, 10 p.m. here, not complaining. All right, in Chicago, tuning in. Awesome, welcome, Chicago. 801 here. Where are you at? 801. You must be somewhere out there in the Atlantic Ocean there, so, it's kind of exciting. Let's see. Brian the Computer Geek, greetings. Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I spent most of the day playing with Raspberry Pi. I was trying to figure out how you could do like an encrypted Raspberry Pi thing. I think I got it. Kind of interesting. It was more of a, can you do this? And so I basically created the Raspberry Pi with Open Source Media Center, created an encrypted folder, etc., and all sorts of other fun stuff. But I don't know. Let's see. Damiano, greetings there. Hola, Lemlier. 5 p.m. Nope, but 9 p.m. I can do. All right. Toasting your 5K with Langvolin. What is Langvolin? I don't know. All right, let's see. KO2610, your time has come. All right, almost morning here. Earlier would be fine. All right, 9 p.m. would work. for me because there are times I get off work at 9. Okay. Greetings, Gavin. Say you're gifted on your channel to present your topics. I agree, Tech Bismo. If you guys have not checked out Tech Bismo's channel, go check out his channel. For somebody as young as he is and to do the in-depth reviews that he does, this kid's a guy to watch. Just don't become as evil and twisted as Mark Zuckerberg, please. We don't need more guys like that in the world. But Tech Bismo does awesome work on his channel. So, and congrats on his 100. All right. Excellent. Holy crap, you pronounced my name right. It was a pure accident, I promise. Kitty is in the party mood. Yes, Kitty is too much in the party mood. Kitty needs retaught. It's like he never goes near my desk except when we do live streams. Then he must be trying to get to those temptations because they sit right back on the desk. Central Illinois. All right. James Biscus, greetings. AST here, +1 from EST. All right. Across the river and through the woods, Cleveland. Awesome, Cleveland. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. All right, so let's go ahead. Kitty, would you just chill out? Kitty is just like, he is so restless today. I have no idea why. Kitty, why are you being so restless? Why are you being so restless? Do you need this? Watch this. I'm into kitty hypnotism. You are getting playful. You are getting very playful. You will bat at the mouse thing. See, he's hypnotized. You could have Raspberry Pi connected to YouTube channel being online for a long time. Wait, what? You could have Raspberry Pi connected to YouTube channel and being online for a long time. Therefore, you can't be demonetized. I don't know. All right, so let's go ahead and jump over. First, let's go ahead and jump over to this news article I found today, which is just quite hilarious, I gotta say. It's just yet another one of these, are there people with brains around? And can the government be trusted? Because we just got so many of these weird little things going all over the place. So this was yet another case of somebody on an Amazon cloud, like... Maybe we need to lock down Amazon unless you've had some training courses in it or something. I don't know. So apparently, yet another one of these Pentagon subcontractors or whatever was doing something for something for the government, and whoopsie, left all of the data on an unsecured Amazon bucket, so anybody who knew how to get into there could get it. And what was this thing? 1.8 billion social media posts from United States citizens spanning 8 years. So if you've used social media in the last 8 years, chances are, yeah, you're in this database that was leaked to the public. Yep. Way to go, government. Okay, guys, it's like, and why are we punishing whistleblowers? We should be just closing out these government agencies because they're completely breaking the law. This is totally illegal. You're not allowed to be collecting this data. You're certainly not allowed to be storing this data. And what are you doing giving it to third parties? And why are these third-party idiots not securing these AWS servers? Do they not know how Amazon AWS servers work? I know how these servers work. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, this is not complicated. It is simply called a security group. Don't put 0000 in all your TP ports. I hope I helped somebody out with that. AWS is not all that complicated, government and government contractors. But yes, so the government effectively leaked 1.8 billion social media posts for a whole lot of things spanning 8 years of United States citizens. Way to go, government. Way to go. And way to go, Amazon. Maybe Amazon at some point, at what point in time is Amazon going to be liable for leak after leak after leak after leak after leak after leak after leak? I mean, you'd think at some point in time Amazon would be like, maybe we should do some stuff. I don't know. But anyway, there's this Vendex. Let's see. Concerns are our military has decided to target American citizens that aren't connected with the military of any topic concerning the military. It'd be like the police building a database of which the political party to support. which is way outside their scope. Yeah, it serves no legitimate purpose. And that's the thing, you know? It's like, but we were collecting... No, they weren't collecting anything. They were collecting things on, like, soccer meetup groups and all sorts of other random things. I mean, sure, the ISIS terrorists were in there, too. But, I mean, who's crazier than soccer moms? Really? I mean, really. This is all about public safety. So, anyway, I don't know. So yeah, if you happen to be connected with AWS, be aware AWS needs to be secured properly if you're going to use it. You need to make sure that people aren't getting in there and stealing stuff. So that is that. Well, that was fun. I could have gone on fire on that, shouldn't I? All right. Live kitty cam feed from the Raspberry Pi. Yeah, you know, if I wasn't super concerned about things like, you know, hackers getting into IoT devices, I would do that. I mean, my cameras are IP. I can't put them on the network. Right now I have it so they're on the network, but you have to VPN into my network to do that, and my VPN is rarely online. You'd have to know exactly when to VPN in to do it. Remember you claim many of the Android rooting apps are Chinese. I'm looking into the Chinese scientific patterns. No, actually it's the iPhone rooting apps. The iPhone rooting apps generally come out of China. Like, I guess the iPhone jailbreaking apps, to be technical. But as far as the Android ones, I really don't know where those are at. I never really looked into it because it's for that it's a matter, like, I don't know, like, what's the big one? I don't know, it's SU something. Is it SU user or super? I don't know, whatever it is. This is too good. I'm really glad I don't make more soda than this. That's too good. I could drink that every day, which just would probably make me fat again. I used to be fat a long time ago. Then I stopped drinking soda, and the fat went away. Into learning the Chinese language. I'm already learning it. Many government agencies are incompetent. Yes, they are. Time to change that password again. Yeah, too late. It wasn't your login information of social media they got. It was all of the posts that you had that they got. Oh, sorry about that. I think I just hit my microphone, and that probably went really loud for a second. Chinese drone maker DJI left its AWS keys on GitHub, and somebody opened up 67K worth of VMs. I saw that. That was funny. BitBlocks. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the congratulations. I am glad I do not use social media. Yep. I use the YouTube, and I do have a Facebook account. My other videos get posted onto a Facebook account for my authorship page, but using social medias, I really don't use it. Left the social media a few months ago other than YouTube, and it drives my family crazy. They have to see my sons in person instead of scrolling through pictures. That's right. That's right. But that's the way they've been trying to get us trained. They want us so getting trained to be so connected to all of this stuff, and it's really, really screwed up. It's just, it's really moving us into directions. And then the biggest problem is what their algorithms start doing is well, if they're not experimenting on us illegally, then what they're doing is they're feeding us the things that they think we want to see. And so it narrows our scope on the world, thus producing these us against them separatory camps. And those are the things we need to get rid of. We need to come together and have open discussions. And I need to have raw data, not data they think I want. And that's why I support things like DuckDuckGo and StartPage and IXQuick, because when you're doing a search on Google, they will feed you back things that, based upon your previous search history and their profile on you, that it thinks you want to see. And so it might be better to get what you're looking for, but it narrows your perspective on life. And social media is a king of narrowing your perspective on life. And it causes you to get so close-minded that you can't even open up to any conversation at all. And that's a bad thing. They say us crazy white Christians are close-minded. Ain't nothing a whole lot more close-minded than people who are constantly on their social media, because they're constantly feeding into themselves only the things that reinforce their own mindset, and anyone outside of them is just screwed up in the head. And that's not what you need to do. Send me the link to TechnoBismo's channel. Yes, I will indeed. if I can spell YouTube. Alright, so here is his channel. So his channel is in there. So this is his channel, and you can see he's got a lot of really cool things. Best computers. His reviews are actually really nice. Just going through a lot of things, and there's some other fun odds and ends on here as well. So you can check out his channel over there. It's in the comments. Oh, going to avoid social media as much as possible. It will be even harder to, even if it will be hard to get a job. That is right. I have Facebook and Twitter, but don't have any pics of my kids online. That is probably good. And please don't send them any of your more private pics, even though they want you to. Founders of Facebook admitted they were creating something that was harmful to the mental health of people. Yes, that was from. It wasn't one of the founders. It was one of the early guys. This guy that made Napster. What was his name? Sean Parker. So that was Sean Parker. He's like, yeah, we knew that we were doing things that were going to mess people up, but we were going to make a lot of money when we did it. So, yeah, that was Sean Parker. That was an article, actually, was it last week or 2 weeks ago, I think. I read his interview. Manning and Edwards, Chelsea Manning and Edward Snowden are true patriots. Yeah, it's like, how dare you tell the American people how much of the law we're breaking? It's ridiculous. Some employers will deny applicants who don't have social media accounts. Yep, just drink water with a little syrup. That's what this is. I actually make my soda. There is a company called Prairie Moons out of St. Louis, I believe, and they have the Rio branded flavor syrups, which were originally made for like snow cones and things. They have like 70 different flavors you can get. And so I buy them in the little concentrate bottles, and they kind of last forever in those little bottles. And then you just I make the syrup at home, and then you mix a little bit of syrup with water and carbonate it, and you make your own soda. So it's quite enjoyable. If I cannot get a job for not existing on social media, I go towards freelance jobs. Yep. Wasn't loud when I hit the microphone. That's good news. Good thing I don't make any posts. Have to start my own company. Yep, that's the way to go. The downside is, of course, it takes a while to get started, and especially if there's a learning curve in what you're doing. So you get some of that. Hello, Jan. Jan Lopez, how are you? Employers do not realize what the consequences are for what they're doing. Yep. Hate the fact employers are trying to babysit employees even off the clock. We are adults, and we do, and what we do when we're not on the clock is none of the employer's business. That is right, but we have to make sure that we are being good little obedient boys and girls as we live out our lives. All right, let's go ahead and jump over. I'm gonna jump over and just talk about some of the things I've learned this year. And I don't have any specific notes. I was thinking about writing notes, but I ran out of time. My chicken took longer to cook than I was anticipating, and I said, I'm going to use the opportunity to clean my house. And so with that, some of the things I've learned over the last year, because if you look back, my YouTube channel, I mean, I actually started putting videos. If you look at when my channel was created, it was created in July of last year. And I did not make any videos public until, I want to say it was early October, maybe. Somewhere there in mid-October. And then from October until December, I was putting videos up publicly, maybe a few a week, being serious about it, just not every day, having that everyday commitment like I do now. And it took me quite a long time to get to 100, quite a while. And then I just had no idea, like, it was just, yeah, why not? I did a video complaining about Ubuntu, and that ended up just blowing up, and that's when people found that Switch to Linux was a channel. And that's really when I went from 100, and I think it took me like 3 months to go from 100 to or from 0 to 100. Then it actually took me another 3 months to go from 100 to 1,000. And that would have been March or April. And so from March or April until now is November, I just crossed 5,000. So that's kind of the evolution of where the channel came from. So where is the channel going? Well, I think one of the things I want to do, I'd like to probably start having more collaborations if I can. That's one of those things I want to start looking into a little bit more, maybe get on, figure out how to, how to schedule some time with folks, maybe once a week, have someone else on, just do some discussion, kind of like we do on the Big Daddy live show and Destination Linux and the other things like that. Just doing more, trying to do more of those. And I'm thinking the format's actually pretty nice as far as I have the standard news day, I have the standard top 5 day, and then the other days I usually do distros or software. That was to try and keep more Linuxy going rather than just more newsy stuff going. But I really think people like both and that balance, and that's kind of why I keep doing more. But I guess another thing I want to talk about is why do I have all this privacy on a channel called Switch to Linux? Why am I just not doing 100% Linux day in, day out on this channel? Linux, Linux, Linux. The reason for that, if you are unaware, is what caused me to move over to Linux. I've really only been on Linux a few years. In fact, I think this will be the 3rd year I've been running Linux every day. But I really started doing that exclusively because the privacy concerns in Windows 10. When I mean, like most people who don't use Linux, I thought my choices were Windows or Mac. That's what I thought. And I had known Linux existed. I had tinkered with Ubuntu back in 2011, 2012. I tinkered with Ubuntu a little bit, but I didn't actually get in there and use it a lot. I really used it because I had a really crappy, I think it was a Toshiba. There was a really low-end model of a Toshiba that was really built with a technical flaw in that the hard drive screwed directly into the case of the computer, and sliding the computer across the desk would send 100% of that shock through the hard drive. That thing burnt through hard drives. And so I just decided to not put another hard drive in it, got an external hard drive. I started looking up, can I install Windows on an external hard drive? No, but I can install this thing called Ubuntu. Okay, why not? I installed Ubuntu, and it did what I needed to do. I needed it to check email. I needed it to get on the internet and, just do things like that. And it worked, and that was fine. And so I used that for that work application for a while. But then what happened for me later is, I decided that I wanted to start looking into it more because Windows 7 was good. Windows 8 was like, eh. The thing that bothered me about Windows 8 wasn't the ugly UI. It wasn't the craziness of how disorganized the thing was. What caused me to move away from Windows 8 was when they put that stupid SkyDrive in. Because in 8.0, they put SkyDrive in, and I could right-click and delete. Windows 8.1, I can't delete anymore. So now I'm having lots of bloatware, and if you've ever looked at my computers, they run extremely fine even after 8 years. The Windows computer I use right now for work is 8 years old, and it runs better than the day I pull it out of the box because I've gotten rid of everything that is not related to the exact software I need it to run. Well, you can't do that on Windows 8. 8.1, I should say. 8.0 you could, 8.1 you could not. And so I'm like, well, this is really stupid and annoying. And then when Windows 10 comes in and they're just throwing Candy Crush and Facebook and Xbox games and SkyDrive, I think it's OneDrive now. It was SkyDrive back then. OneDrive and all of these applications I can't delete. And then when I tried to delete them, they'd come back. And then all the security concerns and then all the privacy concerns. I'm like, I've had enough. I want control over my operating system again. And so remembering Ubuntu existed, I went back, I looked up Ubuntu, I installed it, I'm like, I could use this day in and day out. Let's see if my applications could run. And like many people, just moving from Windows over to Linux, I'm going to do some research. I hear about this thing called Wine, I install Wine on there, and I want to try and get all of my Windows applications onto Linux. And it didn't work. I'm like, bummer. And then I started looking around going, well, I know I've tinkered with GIMP in the past. Let's see if GIMP can actually hold a candle next to Photoshop. Yeah, it can. In fact, there's several things GIMP does better than Photoshop. Now, there's some things Photoshop does better than GIMP, for sure, but they are on equal plane. And I'm like, well, can I replace Dreamweaver as a web design tool? Bluefish is every bit as awesome. So you have a lot of this give and take where when you move over to Linux from Windows, you want to get in there and you really want to jump in and say, and say, rather than trying to port all of my existing Windows applications, the first thing you want to do is you want to ask, which applications can I use native on Linux? And then move in from there. Now, of course, use Wine if you need to. Maybe have another computer running Windows if you have to. You know, you have those little things like that. But for my recommendation these days, it's use Linux for everything you can use Linux for, and use Windows just for those things that you can't do on Linux. And because there are people that have real jobs that have to use software that does not work in Linux. We get that. As a web designer and developer, I need to keep these annoying Windows versions laying around. So when I have a customer like, I can't figure out my email, I can boot up Windows 10, and I can say, one moment, boot up Windows 10, put on my awesome headset, and then I will, I'll work with them to help walk them through their issues. I need to have Windows computers laying around for that. Now, my Windows 10 computer hasn't been plugged in for several months, but, you know, who cares? And that's the reason I switched over to that, is because of the privacy and security concerns. And since I was so unaware of all of this privacy and security concerns, I was like, I have to blow the whistle here. I have to raise the alarm and teach some people about what you can do to take care of yourself. Because in this modern world, there was a day you could go out, get a financial planner, and the financial planner was on your side. There was a day you'd go out to a bank, and the banker was on your side. There was a day you go for insurance, and the insurance broker is on your side. That is not today. And I can tell you story after story after story. For example, I'll tell you a couple stories. A more recent one is a young friend of mine is just getting at that age, trying to move into the world. So he's got his first job, and he's saving up some money, and he's planning to go on a trip. And so he's putting some money aside. And so he's in there, and you know, mom's with him at the bank, going in there to the bank, and the banker's like, well, you should open up a money market account. It's the best interest rates in this town. So he always wanted to ask me about stuff because I taught him some of the financial things. His mom's good at finances, but I'm also really good at finances, and so he wanted to get everybody's opinion. I'm not sure what conversation he had with his mom, but I said, well, what's the interest rate? He says, I don't know. Well, let's find out. So we called the bank, we got the interest rates. Well, it turns out that with the amount of money he has and what the interest rate is, and this is, by the way, information the banker has, because this is the banker who has his current accounts right now, he would have to have $10,000 for it to be worth his while to open the account, because it costs $15 a month for the privilege of making 1.5% interest. Okay, and at 1.5% interest, your break-even point is $10,000, which consequently is the same amount that you need to waive the fee. So anything less than $10,000 in the account, you are literally flushing money down the toilet. But the banker gets a commission for selling you that. So here is a banker telling a young teenage kid, you should take this in the money market and open this up. The banker goes off and gets more money because he's just screwed a kid out of his money. And so here's this kid who doesn't really know any better, who believes the banker is on his side, believes the banker is on his side. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to fire. He believed the banker was on his side. The banker was not on his side. The banker was on the side of the banker. And so the banker knew full well this kid, with the amount of money he had, was going to lose money by opening the money market account, putting the money in, paying the $15 fee for the wonderful privilege of making $3 a month in interest. So does it sound logical to you to pay $15 a month for the privilege of making $3 a month when you can pay zero and make a few pennies a month? Well, guess what's better for you? Not to have the account, but the banker is trying to screw the kid over because the banker is on the banker's side. And that's how it works. That's how it works. Your banker does not have your best in mind. Your interest guy does not have your best in mind. Your financial planner does not have your best in mind. If you do not understand what you are getting into, you are placing your hands as a tool to someone else's desires. Now, there are certainly people that are better than that. And I encourage you to look for them. Dave Ramsey says, find a guy with the heart of a teacher. That means that you get into a financial planning situation and the guy will teach you the things. So my personal example, a few years back when I was still living out west, I go and I had my house insurance and my car insurance through one broker. I think it was it an Allstate? No, I think it was a State Farm. I don't know. State Farm, I think. And so with State Farm, I go in there and I'm like, let's go ahead and just look at the insurance policies. Let's see if we can save any more money. And she's like, oh, you know what we need to do? We need to get you into the premium plan. Our whole life policy is premium. I got news for you, people. Whole life insurance is the crappiest type of insurance you would ever get in your life. If you have whole life insurance policy right now, then tomorrow, well, tomorrow's Sunday, Monday morning, first thing on your list is to call a broker who is not a captive agent, find a term life policy, get the term life policy in your hand, and then cash that whole life out. Because a lot of people do not understand how these whole life policies work. This is how whole life works. You pay an exorbitant fee. In fact, the amount is consistently 10 times more than you pay for the equal amount of term life insurance. You pay the exorbitant fee that if you die, you get the face value of the policy, not the cash value that's built up. You do not get face value, the face value of the policy plus the cash value. To get the cash value, you have to close out the insurance policy and not get the benefit. So they tell you this is a great place to save. No, it's not. You're putting the money into a savings account. So I simply stopped this lady right there and I said, if you ever mention whole life to me again, I will be closing every account that I have and going with someone else. Because the guy, he was looking out, or she was looking out for herself, because she gets a big fat commission for selling me a crappy policy, which, by the way, I got funny news for you. I don't need life insurance because I got no dependents. I don't need life insurance. It is a waste of money for me. Now, if you happen to have a family, you need life insurance until you are self-insured. Here's the downside with term. After 20 years is the usual term. There's different terms of it. After the 20-year term, you'd have to renew the policy. But after 20 years, if you're living your life right, you should not need life insurance because you should have a nest egg built up. Your kids should be out of school. They should even be out of college. You should have planned for that. And so you get those types of things. So the banker is on your side. The insurance guy is on your side. These people are on your side. And so I started getting out here. I went on that whole tirade just to tell you, I jumped into this stuff to teach people how to have privacy. Because all the companies want is as much data as you will give them. And all they're going to do is keep pushing those boundaries until you give them all of the data that they want. You need to take care of you. So that's one of those things that I learned. And that's why I talk a lot more on this channel about privacy and tech news and stuff like that than I do Linux. I think it's about even 50-50 right now. But those are some of my current thoughts. All right, let's go ahead and jump over to those comments. Jeesh. Wowzers. Social media is one big echo chamber. Yes, it is. I'm still legally a minority, and I don't have to deal with that much at the moment. But for things in the school, certainly are groups to watch your social media. Yep. Consequences of social media are incomprehensible to me. Yep. Every ask why do you use DuckDuckGo? Not sure I comprehend the question. I personally do not use DuckDuckGo simply because their style sheet is horrendous to look at. I can't see anything on their page. If DuckDuckGo changed their CSS, which would take me a grand total of an hour, I would use it. But it is so hard to read, I won't use it. That's all DuckDuckGo has to do. Change your style sheet, and I would use it and promote it. But as it is, I use start page. Best part is they get nothing when they look my name up. Yeah. Carbon programmer. No problem, Tech Bismo. You deserve it, man. You're doing well. Okay. When I was younger, I had a G+ account, and anyone who searched my name not only got pictures of me, but my family, and ever since I learned that, I deleted that. Yep. Social media is like having a Big Brother tattoo barcode. Yep, that's right. Gets on the internet, stays on the internet. As the creators of fentanyl knew they were creating addictive drugs, they admitted it. They knew they were creating addictive drugs. The majority of the board wanted to downvote it, but they paid off a guy at the FDA to pass it. That's how fentanyl happened. I still think they should take the owner of the owner of that company, the guy arrested him, and they should get him addicted to it and have him sitting in a jail cell addicted to his own drug. A little torturous, but you know what? No less harmful than what he did to other people. All for dollars. Used to use Facebook, but no more. I wish people would get off of it. Yep. Now I just make accounts with fake names. The scary part, though, about it, you're actually breaking the law here in the States anyway. You're breaking the law if you create a Facebook account with a fake name. They could actually arrest you for on a felony computer hacking type charges. It's not hacking exactly, but it's close. But that's kind of scary. Don't forget Brave browser. The reason I don't use Brave browser is it's closed source and they do funky things with ads that they don't block ads. They insert their own. They tell you they're blocking ads. They insert their own. They're just an ad system. And when I looked into Brave, I was not impressed with what they were doing. Yeah, VPN has a few interesting uses. I have an entire video on that. And, you know, VPN, as of late, VPN's the trendy thing to do, trendy thing for privacy. And the reality is ISPs are still more regulated than a VPN company, particularly across state lines and jurisdictions. So you really have no idea what they're doing with the data. Now, there's times you definitely want to use it. And there's times you would use a VPN to change your country of origin if you need to do something like that, you know, for good legitimate purposes. But don't do illegal stuff behind the VPN. They can still track down who you are, but it does protect you from your ISP to a very good degree. Let's see. In school, they have SJW like groups, and one of my teachers had a poster promoting safe spaces. Yeah, ask them where your safe place is. Where's my safe place where I'm free to talk about my opinions without being judged? Kind of like some of those folks are the most intolerant people running around preaching tolerance. Players can deny you for your political opinions. Yep. The Circle is a decent movie about social media and big internet corporations. Ooh, I should look into that. The Circle. Where's my notebook of random scribblings? All right. School, we have a running joke where everyone gets triggered by the littlest of things. It started when I was yelled at for breathing. True story. Oh boy. Don't breathe too loud, man. Wait. People. Trigger warning. I'm going to breathe heavy. Oh, trigger warning. I'm going to take a drink. Trigger warning. Up. One more trigger warning. Just a quick trigger warning. Trigger warning. Big trigger warning. We're going to put a cat on the screen. He might cuteness you to death. Ubuntu mailed me a CD in 2003. Sweet. Rip hard drive. No. What hard drive? Oh, must have been talking about my other computer. I'm way behind on the comments. Ubuntu was my first distro, and I found out about Linux last year. Then I found out there were many distros. Yep. Google free operating systems back when I had Vista. I thought Linux was a scam. Anselm's been running Linux for 23 years. Awesome. Very cool. Running Windows 10 right now. Not that I want to be. My laptop isn't supported well, especially by the Broadcom chip. Makes it hard to use Linux. Actually, on Linux Mint, Haddock. Actually, I just had to my poor wireless card in my main laptop had, if you notice there, the little, will it focus? Focus camera. It's not focusing, but the white pop-in pin, there it goes. See, the white pop-in pin fell off. Well, I happen to have a Broadcom wireless card laying around, so I dropped it in there. Of course, Linux Mint didn't see it right away, but I just literally, I plugged my phone into the computer to bridge the internet, plug it in, go to drivers. It saw, hey, Broadcom, want to use this driver? Click yes, download the driver from my phone internet, installed it, rebooted the computer, boom, we're in. So, you know, even with the Broadcom stuff, Linux Mint, actually, I think all the Ubuntus maybe will have the proprietary driveware manager. That will actually get you running. You just need to plug in a phone or actually the other thing I have laying around I can use is I got the little USB wireless thing. So you use a little USB wireless card and you can actually do that. LOL, Candy Crush. Yep. Started with a Slackware, bought a 4 CD set in 97. Nice. Last OS I used was Windows 7. Yeah, when my Windows 7's dead, I will be doing pretty much 95% of my time will be on Linux. Right now, I still do a lot of work over on Windows, but even that's slowly moving to other systems. Technically, you can delete OneDrive and code. Just use a tool to throw a registry key in it, and it doesn't come back. Well, what I actually did to nuke it is there's some PowerShell scripts you can run, which will nuke everything in the Metro app system, and that's what I did, which was very well, actually. My classmates don't realize how damaged social media is. No, and they won't realize it until it is what is used to track them down on their either on their stupidity or their crazy life. Started in 2011, kind of touched by everyone once in a while. Then I got my crappy Toshiba laptop, installed Ubuntu 14, worked like a charm. Yep. Social media has been known to cause addiction. Indeed. Anarita, greetings. Glad employers are not focused on social media yet. Yeah, some of them are. Actually, 4 months after the CPU fan went in, it was using a bus drive, started smoking. Tell your computer to stop not to smoke. Smoking is bad. Money market, I remember the money market account story. Bad people who ruin banks. Yes, who run the banks, yeah. You know, and the sad thing is if this kid didn't have somebody who knew what was going on in the world to talk to, he very well might be throwing all this money away, lining the banker's pocket, giving this old crusty dude a bigger commission while he's struggling hard to save up money because he's throwing it all in the bank on a bad product. You know, it's just that kind of stuff pisses me off. A friend in school actually lost days at school because of Snapchat. Wow. Social media is another form of mind control. Yep. Gonna have a heart attack. Right now, Facebook now used as a tool by SJWs and employers to defame people. Yep. At least T is ground for putting out fires. Yep. Too bad young people are taken advantage of like that. Yeah, that's the thing. Is the kid switched to Linux? The kid has a Windows computer using for some stuff, but he actually has an Ubuntu Studio computer as well. So, younger than 15, I had experience with this, and they are screwing me over, charging me an unknown amount of money on both my savings and checking account. Yep. Nowadays, interests are almost negative. I'll be paying the bank to have my... Well, that's exactly what happens, and you don't really have much choice. Fire! I went on fire! About $140 in the account one last year. They sent me a letter. Your account is about to close. Balance $4.10. What? Greetings, Chater. How are you? Ever consider starting a financial advice channel? You know, I mean, I kind of do. I kind of do odds and ends all over the place. I really don't want to do a financial advice channel, although I probably could. I don't know. Banks are too risky to store my money. Yeah, in a couple years, it's better to put your money in an old sock or in your mattress. That's the thing, you know. It's getting that way. Oh, come on, YouTube, fix this comment thing. All right, let's see. Sucks that the rest of my classmates are not aware of the negative effects. Yeah. Well, just wait till Darwinism and go at my classmates. Remember that old thing, the Darwin Awards? Funny stories of people that did stupid things to kill themselves? Whoops. I try to push my friends into that, but they're still playing crappy IAP-filled games in 40 different social media platforms. Yeah, you'd be surprised. Knowledge is power, but personal data is control. Or a girl being active on 5 social media platforms. 4 or 5 or something. Take the bailout. We thought we were just letting a friend crash at the house for a few days. But we ended up with a family of hillbillies who moved in forever, sleeping 9 to a bed and building a meth lab on the front lawn. What? One, if they don't go overboard, they don't learn their problems. They just protect your own privacy. Only my teachers know the negative effects. And they still are pushing the social media. Unicorns say hi. Greetings, unicorns. It's just not worth saving them. Maybe you should just let them fall into life as a competition. Came to the channel for the tinfoil hat, stayed for Linux and tech. Awesome! Very good, LJ. Yeah, sorry I didn't do a tinfoil hat tonight. I was just like, yeah, it's like I just want to do something I didn't have to prepare for because I had a lot of other things to do today. All right. Tom, here in Canada, you need at least $2,000 every month on the bank to waive the fees. When you reach 65, no fees at all. So my wife and I do not pay fees, which saves us $30 a month since we have 4. That's crazy. Been using Start Page for a couple weeks now, loving it. Yep. Bio teacher admitted social media is damaging. Yep. Learn something about investing. It's better to own the bank shares, not putting money in the bank because banks rob people. That's right. Live in a world without Snapchat and I'm happy. VPN is just another mirage. I agree with that in many ways. A VPN company has been contacting me actually to do some degree of either affiliate links or sponsorships. So I'm thinking about doing that. I mean, as long as they know that I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon and say everyone needs a VPN. I think VPNs are very good for what they're supposed to be used for, and that's about it. So I don't know. I'm still researching into it and talking with them, so we'll see what happens. It'd be cool to have some sponsors on here, though. You know, as long as they're not asking me to, you know, do something I completely disagree with. And I think VPNs have a place. It's just not exactly what everyone out there says it's for, but, you know. High school cannot stand all this pro-social media stuff. Carbon Programmer, you'd really like the kid that I mentor because you guys would be like, he talks to me all the time about what the crazy SJW stuff going on in their school is. You know what's ridiculous is hackers face more time than violent criminals. My brother-in-law told me a guy in jail that he was serving 15-year term, but there was a guy only doing 4 years for rape. Yep, that's right. That's right. And it is totally crazy. They gave the guy running the Silk Road 2 life sentences. You do not need Facebook to build good friendships. In fact, Facebook will probably hurt your friendships. Guy's doing 15-year term was hacking a few websites for fun. Yeah, you shouldn't do that either. But it's still better to have VPN than have nothing. Beautiful kitty. I'll go ahead and put the kitty back on. There you go. Kitty, you're famous. You're on YouTube. 48 people are watching you right now. So be cute. Do something cute. Do something cute. Here, kitty. Do something cute. Here, do something cute with that. School has strict rules and strict rules for creating kindergarten tattletales. Yep. Go as far as defending some of my classmates from tattletales. Indeed, you don't. When I was younger, I met friends and still know good friends say we barely use social media to talk. That's right. I'm allergic to computers. Triggered. Schools and universities are raising crybabies without a backbone. Amen to that. Can't use Linux Mint either. USB ports for some reason barely work. Huh, bummer. There are technical terms flag and trigger for VPN users. Oh, okay. I have roasted students, and I am not sorry if someone's heart is broken. Sometimes, you know, the best amount of love is to tell someone the truth. It's a reality. You have to stop caring and be a jerk. Unfortunately, sometimes. Schools and universities are raising crybabies without a backbone. People in my school should be expelled, but they're getting by scot-free. Yep. We should make Tom on Fire into a meme. Well, if you do Tom on Fire memes, go ahead and send them to me. Maybe I'll have a spot for them on Switch to Linux. I want to redesign some elements of that site. DarwinAwards.com. Sweet. It still does exist, I guess. We're in a time when people never use social media. Yeah, back at that time when we actually had lives and real friends. I don't like crybabies, but I don't like bullies either. Yep, that's right. That's why we got to have a balance. We don't want to be one side or the other. We got to have a balance. I'm going to only save my friends from social media. The rest of my classmates can fall. He's cute. Cuteness. Yes, cuteness. Yes, you. 46 people are now watching you on the internet. You are a famous internet cat. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Maybe we should do a kitty on fire meme. Heard of Facebook destroying relationships. It does. In fact, you know what? Facebook actually has one of the... It just happened, you know, in the last couple years, but Facebook moved into the number 2 spot causing divorces because people find all their old classmates and they end up chatting with their old high school fling and then having an affair with the old high school fling and then breaking up marriages over stupid Facebook. Oh, my Lord. Right on night for school for college and psychology. And it's so interesting to study the brain, but at times it can be so scary. The kitty on fire. I don't actually, you know, I have a very tragic story. When I had a kitty when I was a kid, the neighborhood hoodlum teenagers lit the cat on fire. And we took the cat to the vet. He comes in smoldering the next day. We take the cat to the vet because we're like, he probably needs put down. And the vet's like, I think he might make it. Give him some topical cream. So we gave the cat some cream. And my friend actually called this cat Satan Kitty. He lived like 15 years. He had no ears and lots of ugly skin blotches because he was badly burnt. I mean, they poured gasoline on this cat and lit it on fire. It was so tragic. But he lived for years. And finally, I don't know if he was really old as it was. I don't know if he ran off to die or whatever else, but he was found frozen under our neighbor's shed. So I say, yeah, he was toasted as a little kitty, and then he froze to death one year. I don't think he froze to death. I think he ran away to die because cats do that. But my friend called her Satan Kitty because he was pretty ugly. He was a pretty ugly cat. But we loved the kitty. He was such a good kitty. But you know, that just, since we're talking about flaming cats and politically incorrect stuff, I got a joke. And I got to tell you, these 2 jokes, and they're very distasteful, but sorry, I got to do it. You know how to make a cat sound like a dog? Well, you pour gasoline on it, light on fire, and it goes woof. You don't like that joke, do you, kitty? But you know what joke the cat does like? The cat really likes how to make a dog sound like a cat. You take the dog and you put it in a deep freezer for a few days, and you take it out and you run it across the table saw, and it goes meow. So, you know, politically incorrect jokes. Let's go ahead and get back to more things that I've learned this year. Oh, those are bad jokes, but they're decent, I guess, for a laugh. What else have I learned this year? Obviously, I've learned a whole lot about Linux. I mean, I'm not nearly as good as a lot of these other guys are. You know, I'll probably jump onto Big Daddy Linux tonight if he's on. I'll probably jump on that for a little bit and you know, there are a lot of guys on there using Linux a whole lot longer than I have. They know a whole lot more than I do, and that's okay because I'm more of a utilitarian guy. I learn stuff as I need it. And some of the things I've learned over the year, over the last year, I mean, I've learned how to build a NAS out of just an old computer rather than spending tons of extra money on a more professional one that who knows what it's doing. I've learned how to build a NAS. I've learned how to build a media center for a dumb TV that's way better than a smart TV because I know it's not collecting my data. You know, I've learned how to run Linux on multiple different computers and devices. I've learned how to take an entire smartphone, wipe the operating system, and have a Google-free, privacy-centric phone that will be eventually replacing this iPhone. You know, I've learned how to do so many fun things on the technology end, and I've learned a lot of that from a lot of tips and tricks and things people have asked me about. And so doing this channel for me, it was a learning experience, and it's causing me to just get out there and just learn new things and take new steps and learn new software and try new things and just do that. But on top of all of the tech stuff, it also taught me a lot better about interacting on the internet. It opened up the entire world, not just to tech and privacy, but I know a lot of people on this channel also jump over and watch my Christian channel. And so I can teach discipleship in the Christian stuff. Somebody keeps emailing me. I can teach discipleship on a Christian channel and have a platform, and a lot of the platform for that comes from what I'm learning over here. And so learning how to interact with people all over the world, being wider in my mindset and thinking than just the United States or just my town, because even when I wrote my first book, I kind of wrote it with America in mind. But now that I have viewers all over the world, and if I read through this, I have people from several cities in the United States watching right now, but I have people in other countries watching too. And it caused me to think wider and think bigger. And anytime we can think larger and think wider and think bigger, that's a great thing that we've learned. And so I've learned that over the years as well. And so there is just a whole lot that I've learned. And then, of course, I've learned some of the smaller little things. Like, I didn't know how to do video production. I didn't know how to do OBS or how to edit a video or any of this kind of stuff. I had no idea how any of this type of stuff worked. You know, I didn't know about what microphones to get or how to do a sound mixing system or how to have a multi-camera setup, like multi-camera. You know, I had to learn all this stuff as I built this YouTube channel up. And so it's been a lot of fun doing that. It's been a lot of fun making new friends across the world and just chatting with everybody and all that kind of stuff. And so, you know, those are some of the other things that I have learned over the last year in doing this channel. And 1 year, 5,000 subs, that's not too bad. And I just hope that it keeps on getting bigger and stronger, and so that we can get the message of technology and privacy and personal choice back out into the world. All right, right, Kitty? You liked that talk, didn't you, Kitty? Yeah? He's got the ear twitchy thing going. See that? See that ear twitchy thing going? Best on that or I fail. Okay. Snowflakes are the only ones who use social media. I don't know. There's some snowflakes on the other end as well. Call them flaming sulfur. I don't know on the other end as well that use it, but I don't know. I'm finding most normal people aren't on social media anymore. It's best to let someone fall because you can end up falling with them. That's true, and sometimes letting someone fall is what causes them to learn on their own. Hey, Bernard. Bernardo, greetings and welcome from Brazil. Awesome. Love cats. My mom got a kitten when I was born, and he died when we were both 14. Aww. I hope you still have some pictures. I have pictures. Sometime I'll get the picture of the ugly cat, and you can have a look at what the ugly cat looks like. Wife and 3 boys, it's hard to find time for one at the moment. The thing, though, about cats is they really don't take a lot of extra time because cats just kind of coexist with you. Dogs are a lot different story. I mean, I'm not a big fan of dogs just because they just take so much extra care. But, you know, if I want to head out for a weekend, cats are fine. Just throw some extra food in the dish and they'll be fine. They'll take care of themselves. You know, and then you come back and they look at you like, where you been? Right, kitty? But, you know, so that's the cool thing about cats. I like cats, but I'm more of a dog person. Lost a cat, ran away to die, and the dog, oh, that's sad. That's a kind of fire. Your kitty didn't like it. No. It's got Fedora 27 working with my fingerprint scanner on my ThinkPad. Sweet. What's up, kitty? What's up, kitty? You gonna come over here? What? 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 Yeah? Bad jokes are the best. Only funny if you have thick skin. Eh. Some of my teachers are collectivists. A stupid excuse is to be a team. Uh-oh, kitty ran away. Oh, kitty's coming over here. Oh. I never knew you had a dark side. I do. We all have a dark side. I try to keep it under wraps. Stupid excuse here is independent work. Do you do it independently? Linux will make you a tinkerer for sure. Yep. At least my chem, Mandarin, history, and math teachers are individualists. That's good. I like doing things the way I want. Okay. Someone has a TV is smart. All right. If someone has a TV that is smart, how do you make it for them to not track you? I would not only would I not connect the TV to the internet, if I were that good of a tinkerer, I would open the thing up, I'd look for the thing that looks like this, and I'd pull it out. That's exactly what I would do, because then it can't get on the internet. Pull the Wi-Fi card. That's what I would recommend. That's what I did to a friend's TV, because they had one of those Vizio TVs, and the Vizio ones were the ones that were collecting more data than they want. So we went over there, and the thing was having problems, and so we had to open it up anyway. So I opened it up to do some tinkering in the HDMI ports. Like, oh, wireless card, let's pull that out. Okay. Well, my Windows 10 taskbar on the left side, like Unity. But you should put Unity on it instead. Greetings, Prakesh. Alright. By hitting it in the brain. Okay. Awesome multi-camera. Yep. Kind of like the community. That's the thing. The community makes it more fun to be around. Remember, the collectivist staff member at the school got injured, and I laughed at his pain. I never apologized since then. I don't want to laugh at people getting hurt, though, but okay. As long as CJ is the cat in the videos. What, kitty? What? What? He's just wanting to get on the desk, and he's just not allowed. I enjoyed getting to know you and the other Linux community. Awesome, Joe. Greetings, drone flying northwest. Get a cat, your kids will love it. Okay. Hey, Pseudo Linux, how are you? Problem with cats is they multiply like rats. Do you multiply like rats? Not this kitty. He don't have the parts to multiply like rats, do you? No. You got those cut off a long time ago. Yes, you did. Alright. Regular add-ons aren't supported anymore. They've opted for secure standard. Yep. Daniel, greetings, and thanks for the congrats. Thank you too, drone flying. Like your new shelves, but man, that cable management is still bothering me. There is nothing more I can do with that cable management, Anarita. You try having multiple computers on networks and figure this out. Come on, I've made that little thing connecting the modem and the router less than a foot long. You know, I've put everything in its own little wraps. The little cords are on hooks. I mean, that thing's perfect. That thing's perfect. Oh, well. Maybe I'll build a little wall around it, like a little shelf or a cabinet or something, so you can't see anything. Striker Wolf rescues pit bulls. Awesome. Very cool. Cats are the perfect pets. Mine live right on the alley, plus they get puffy and extra cute on winters. During PE that I injured him accidentally by throwing a ball really hard. I tried to throw the ball towards my friend. Henrietta, don't look at my setup then. Wires piled to the floors, on the walls, on the desk, etc. Weirdest thing today, my 1 gig fiber dropped to 10 up and 10 down. Evening is back to 1 gig. Never changed on my end. Yes, I'd say that the ISP was just doing something funky. 3-day work week, and that's good, I think, if you get a vacation pay or don't care about money. Katie just wants to type something. I think he does. He wants to name a volcano. Do you want to name a volcano? That means walk across my keyboard. Yeah? All right. Yeah, Kitty takes over the show. This guy here deserves at least half of those subs, right? Who subbed for the cat? Who subbed for the cat? Who subbed for the content? Who subbed for this cat? Right? You're a famous kitty, huh? All right. Should the UN take a role in creating standards for cryptocurrencies? I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah, Mark, you missed quite a bit, but I'm just kind of shooting things off the cuff, and we'll probably stop soon. I don't know. Groin and reproductive organs. We all laughed at this. That's sad. Oh, well. Oh, well. Trying to install Solid Sauce on a laptop just says no. Just say no. Right, Kitty? Just say no? Yeah. I need to find a book to read, but nothing motivational. What's the next OS review? Well, the next OS I'm going to run is Solus GNOME. The next one I review, I don't know. I actually figure that out when I boot up DistroWatch and see what's new usually. Usually that's the case. Although Fedora 27 might be on the list because that's new as well and I haven't done it yet. My priest and his wife got a cat because he said they needed someone to fill the emptiness when his kids grew up and went to college. There you go. Cat's a good way to do that. Right, Kitty? Right? James subs for the cat. All right. I guess you can also like the video for the cat. Kitty, like the video for the cat? All right. Oh, let's see. What else is going on in the world? Let's go ahead and have a look. Let's go ahead. Here's a fun thing we'll do. Let's go ahead and have a look through the video archive. Let's see what kind of fun videos I've done through the years. So this is kind of like a... kind of like a looking back type episode. Let's see what we got. So I have 410 videos. Now, a few of those are private videos for clients. Let's see. There we are. So there's the actual channel. So we're live right now. Look at that. 48 watching. My screen says there's 50 watching right now. So of course, here's the various news things. We're not logged in, by the way, so I'll kind of be looking at this from the non-logged in person perspective. All right, so let's go ahead and first, I think, going to the home. Let's see. Oh, come on, back home. All right, so other channels, if you like here and you're kind of new, I do have 2 other channels. I'm sorry, I just don't do much on the home cooking hacks. There's only like 8 videos over there. Our Walk in Christ is pretty active. I do in-depth Bible studies. Here's my top videos, 32K for quick guide to choosing a Linux distro that a lot of people criticize because it's 40 minutes. It's very quick. Come on, man. I was a college professor in my past life. That's quick. 40 minutes is fast, man. I mean, you get 10 minutes off at the end of the period. Number 2 video with just under 30,000K is top 5 Linux distros for new users. Third video is 22K is pros and cons of Elementary OS. And top 5 reasons to use Elementary OS. So those are my top 5 videos. So between those together, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So these 4 videos alone corresponds to or is that 10? No, 100,000 views. So that's kind of cool. I do have some playlists. I really need to go through and redo some of these playlists because some of these are really bad. I should go back and redo some of these videos now that I have a lot more knowledge and skill of this stuff, and better equipment and things. But I do have some playlists: how to create USB live keys, how to look at Linux in Windows 10, how to look at Linux in Mac OS, basic distro review stuff, and a whole playset of Linux Mint videos. So those are kind of what I have on the channel. Let's go ahead and have a look at my videos, see what we got. All right, so of course we do the live shows. Usually I try and do a custom thumbnail when I can. So Asia Pie, of course, on Freddy Krueger's body, which is quite fun. That was a fun thing logo to make. Then, of course, I did the controversial Facebook one where Facebook kind of wants you to upload your dirty pictures to Facebook. They pay someone to sit in a room and watch your uploaded porn. Way to up the creep factor, Facebook. Of course, we do quite a bit of other little things, distro reviews. Don't forget my outdoor philosophy videos, which are right now I'm going through a series of simplicity. And then just other odds and ends. The Firefox on Quantum on Linux Mint is going to be one of my top videos. This is just shooting through the views. Let's see, what else do we got? Manjaro. So another thing, if you're new to the channel, is that I'll do is the computer that's behind me here, this is actually what's on the hard drive, which is a Linux Mint KDE. But I also use these little USB drives, and I just put random Linux distros, and I play with those for about a month. And then I'll do a few different videos from that distro to test things out. So I do some of those. Oh, if you do like kitties, this guy right here, I have a video with my Linux cats. Just a 10-minute video dedicated to cats. This was actually a demonetization test, and yes, YouTube did demonetize my cat video. We have my top fives. My top 5 series, by the way, is starting to get revamped a little bit more, and I'm looking to revamp the news next. Just to make it a little bit more stylistically better to look at. Those are the things I'm looking to do. But I did do my new top 5 thing. Has a very nice 3D transition between the top 5s, so you can look at those. Other things I've done this last year. Actually, I spent a whopping, I think, 6 to 8 weeks to write a whole book. And so I talk about the book release and how I did everything. This entire book was written and completely produced by me on Linux. So I wrote it all on LibreOffice. I did the ebook production through Calibri and Sigil. I did the book covers and all the graphics in GIMP, and everything was completely done on Linux. And then I published it. I sent all of the files up to the printer, and they printed it, no problems whatsoever. Nothing was rejected. Everything was done perfectly on Linux. And if you do want to copy that book, my inventory did come in, so I am shipping those here from my office. You can check out ourwalkinchrist.com for information on those. Whining about demonetization. Yeah, I did a fair amount of that because it causes a lot of views. Oh, this was one of my favorite thumbnails right here. The oligarchy, of course, done on the... If you didn't catch the scene, of course, that was actually a picture from Lord of the Rings, and I put my 1984 as the tower, and, you know, all that fun stuff. So, here's two videos about how I created this phone as a complete privacy-centric phone. Everything's running through Tor. There's no Google services. It is a Nexus 5X, and it runs absolutely perfectly fine. No real issues. I need to go back and do a video on Ubuntu now that it's actually out. Emergency data recovery from when my SSD crashed. Oh, I do have some scammers, some scammer videos. I have 3 or 4 of these. If you search for scammer videos, I do have 3 or 4 of these that you can go back and watch how I've trolled scammers. And I don't randomly just call them, but one time I was literally getting all of the sample testing running to do a video, and somebody called me, so I just turned on the recorder and recorded. It was awesome. Let's see. Of course, the tinfoil hat series is pretty popular. I try and make sure that those are inside of the playlist for tinfoil hats. They are not always, but I try. I do have a few WordPress tutorials. Let me know if I should get back to those. They really weren't big viewer videos, and so I didn't really continue it. But what I'd like to do next, if people are interested in the WordPress tutorials, is I want to get into the more advanced stuff. I covered the basics so far. I want to get into the advanced stuff, how to create your own theme, how to troubleshoot things, maybe how to clean a hacked website, stuff like that. Those are other WordPress things that I can do. And GIMP tutorials, I will gladly do more of those. I've kind of run out of things to talk about. So if you want me to do something, send me your comments on those. Let's see what else stands out. So we're getting down to these older videos that were pretty much just about as good. They just don't have as many views because I didn't have many subs back then. So like, should preteens own smartphones? Look at that, only 58 sad views on that awesome video, which is actually pretty cool. And I think oh, you know what? I had 278. That's right. What happened is the live stream died, and so I kicked it onto a new stream. I'm sorry. So there are a lot of views on that. Okay. Well. Oh, look at that cuteness. Okay. More distros. There's Peppermint. Looking at Peppermint there. I did two outdoor philosophy series, two different outdoor philosophy series on studying books. One of those was The Power of Focus. The other was First Things First. And I'll probably get back to that when the weather starts getting warm, because I like to read those as I walk and stuff. Oh, this was a fun video. How I got a phone scammer to call the police. Oh, boy. Oh, a little series on cubes. I did a series on cubes tutorials. And let's see. Get the other cat on that one. Now here's how to do logo design on Inkscape. Ubuntu. We're getting down into the older videos. Many of them don't have a whole lot of views, but maybe I should do a little bit more. Repurposing computers. Let's see. Yeah, we're getting down to the bottom. Down to the bottom. This is one here, Rule 41. This is one that I'm surprising did not get more views on it. Only 69 sad little views on that video that was about Rule 41, which is still in effect. Do you know what Rule 51 is? There's some GIMP stuff, and then down to the very first couple videos I posted, which I really need to redo some of these early ones because they really do kind of suck. Well, that's my channel over the course of the last year. Let's see what people have been saying on the comments there. Just in case you didn't know I had that many videos. Cat has PMS all the time. She's in a bad mood. I think the kids in my home daycare, they love her too much during the day at night. Night piss at my wife and all. Yeah. My cats, I'm pretty sure there's a demon that possesses mine from time to time. My other cat gets a little crazy. Do you want the mouse, kitty? I think that the kitty wants the mouse. Kitty's just kind of chilling here. He's just like, yeah, what do you want? Don't move, I'm comfy. Okay, my own problem with Solus is the amount of packages available. Well, actually, Haddock, with Snap packages, they've kind of resolved that, which is kind of cool. James subs for the cat. All right. I think I've already read that comment, though. Cat is called Trump. Cat can't sub. She's called Bad Kitty for a reason. Government should never touch cryptocurrency. That's why it's called cryptocurrency. How much does the cat weigh? I think it's 10 pounds. Let's find my laptop GPK, connect to the internet. Okay. Sometimes you have to stop caring and be a jerk to get satisfaction from seeing someone just like, Okay, I just installed Solus 3 GNOME on a new laptop and dual boot application. Bought a DVD caddy for an SSD. Installed it. Bit of a challenge, but not too terrible. Runs great. Sweet. Get a copyright strike on your own videos. I might. Kitty, am I going to get a copyright strike on my own videos? Am I? Yeah. Any suggestions for a gaming distro? Check out SteamOS. Want to run my PS2 games. Like there's emulators that will emulate anything up to PS1 will run, but I don't know of any way to run PS2 games, but I'm also not a gamer. Okay. I once beat up a kid who tormented me. I got suspended, but it was the best day of my life. 32K, awesome. 40 minutes is great. Yep. Well, half the people are like, it's an awesome video. The other half of people are like, this isn't quick. I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's all good. Okay, what's great about individuals teachers, they allow you to go as far as you want to. Shout out if you're a true Nix user. Woohoo! Be a month ahead of the class, my teacher would be fine with it. Cool. Alright. I say Linux is my daily driver for work and play. Yep. Found some issues using UEFI boot on a number of distros. Not sure why. Some boot, others have a fit. Yeah, I think some of us have find that. Not wish harm on people. They think different, have a different opinion than you. That's immature mindset to have. Okay. Just don't boot into the live environment and install directly. This week you were Linux meeting and using web-based was the site. Was it open source? Wait. Last week you were Linux meeting and using web-based. What was the site? Which video was that? Last week. What video was that? Which video you're talking about? And I should be able to answer that. Try to keep separate drives for dual boots. Yeah, I try not to dual boot on the same drive. I try and keep separate drives for that. Intel management and security status is running. Rubbish. Refurb Lenovo. I think it activated itself. Oh boy. Probably. Always wear my tinfoil hat for your stream. The wife says I'm weird. Nice. Alright. UFE. Okay. Truly individualist, you would understand that it's okay for people to have different views than you. PC SX2. Huh, okay. Tinfoil hat time should have more conspiracy theories. Actually, the reason I don't do conspiracy theories is because I don't generally want to feed the fire that's already a little too weird. So, like, I mean, I think Alex Jones is bat crap crazy. Not that he doesn't make some decent points, but I don't really want to feed that industry a whole lot. And so that's why I cover things that are not quite conspiracy, but so perilously close it sometimes gets close to the border there. What are you doing, kitty? What are you doing? Use cheap Android device but incompatible with any custom ROM as Lineage OS. I rooted and removed all the Google apps and services. There you go. That'll do it too. Do a tinfoil hat on AI. Ooh, I should do a tinfoil hat on AI. I really should. Kitty, should I do that next week? I'll try and do that next week. About putting my website back up on Joomla. It's not as user-friendly, but I think it's definitely better performant. Oh, I completely disagree, Joe. Joomla is extremely difficult. Like, it's heavy from the code sense, and also it's hard to get updated when you have it, because every time they make version changes, sometimes themes are not cross-compatible with it. That's actually why I stopped supporting Joomla quite as much. I mean, I still know how to use it. I can use any system in web design, but the only reason I steer anybody towards Joomla is if they have very specific requirements for user management. Because in Joomla, you can set which users have access to edit which page. But I would not use Joomla unless you absolutely have to. It's my most viewed video. That would be the choosing a Linux distro in 2017, I believe. I don't have many subs, just post stuff like React OS video and got 300 views on it, which was big for my channel at 5 subs. Yeah, that is. Basically, oh, the other cat's coughing up a hairball, I think. Kitty, kitty, you okay back there? You okay back there? Yeah? All right. Other cat's coughing up a hairball. Stallman has no shame. Once saw him rub ointment on his bunions during an interview. Indeed, indeed. Next goal is to set up my own file server. Yeah, actually, that's what I did with my NAS. It's awesome. Love it. You have brought this channel to another level in 2017. It's an unreal variety of cool things. Well, thank you, and definitely give me more ideas. I oftentimes do adaptations based on ideas. In fact, sorry, there's no kitty on it right now, but even the switch to kitty cam was a suggestion from someone else. So I will always incorporate those things in. Just let me know what you think. Being an individualist also means respecting someone else's views, even if it means they're an all-out collectivist. Yes, it does. It does. Because we can't change other people's views. The best we can do is give other people better information. That's the best we can do, unfortunately. You should redo older videos. Rather, anyone who's starting will not be discouraged. Instead, give it... Yeah, you know what? I think that that's a better idea. I think redoing the older videos, and I'll just link to the old ones, link the old ones, or the new ones to the old ones, or something. I don't know. When Richard Stallman farts, people listen. And the right to have an opinion, either if I disagree with them. Wishing any harm to them wouldn't be like stooping to their level. All right. That is, you do have a very legitimate concern with the collectivism trying to enforce our ideas, because that's what their entire ideology is. Anyone who doesn't think like us is a problem. And they need to learn that, maybe some people just don't think like we do. TSM, I love Linux, but why are the Broadcom Wi-Fi drivers lousy? The reason is because they will not release the source code, and so you generally have to do a proprietary driver to get them to work. Same issue that they had with NVIDIA for a long time, which now is working a little bit better, but that's the real reason, because some distros like Fedora have such a stance against closed source and proprietary source, they just won't support it. Yet distros like Ubuntu and Mint, they want to focus on what works. And so they'll give people a lot easier options to get this stuff to work. But the reason it doesn't is because they're not open source. And that's why. So I understand it, and that's, you know, and that's why if you are seriously privacy-centric, Fedora is a better distro for you. I just don't have the time to get the thing working every time it wants to roll its new release. It's a challenge. Do you ever hope for gaming on Linux ever being more viable? You know, Political Monkey, I'm not a gamer, and so I'm just not the guy to ask. I hope it does, because one of the only things that holds Windows 10 in the high position it is the vast amount of people gaming on it, really. And so when we get to the point where your big name games can run on Linux, it's going to be a massive jump for the Linux ecosystem. So I hope that does work well. I know Valve is making a lot of good steps, really recommending full cross-platform compatibility. And the proliferation of Chromebooks is going to help with that, because a Chromebook is really a Gen 2. And so I think it's going to get better. But I really can't comment a whole lot more than that, because I'm simply not a gamer. The few games I like to play, they all work on Linux. I'm good. So, I may have Chaos up and running. Sweet. Chaos is cool. You were a guest with other Linux users, and there was Peppermint Founder. You were a guest with other Linux users, and there was Peppermint Founder. I should get a hold of the Peppermint Founder and see if he wants to come on. I know they respond to videos pretty well, and I'd love to give them more publicity. That's actually, Peppermint is what I wrote and produced my book on. So if you're looking for a great distro you don't have to mess with, Peppermint on a lightweight computer, oh, it is awesome. I love Peppermint. Have Broadcom modem on HP, Wi-Fi works fine, have Fedora 26 in a laptop. Prevents majority of the desktop market from Linux because the desktop market is all high-end desktops. Yeah, that's the other thing we need for Linux to do, is being able to go to Best Buy and buy a computer with Linux on it. I was going to install my site using Joomla. Don't do it. Don't do it, please. Joomla's less of a hack target than WordPress is. I like WordPress better. You just got to be more on the ball, keeping it up to date. But Joomla's just really hard and clunky to work with. A lot. I mean, and getting into the back end and doing stuff it's annoying. It's not nearly as annoying as some other systems, but you know, it certainly is. It's an option. It's just annoying. Broadcom support sucks too. I think it's more of a network manager side though. Okay. Have Linux Lite 3.6 have a problem over 20 distros? Huh. Yeesh. I do not think I'm ever going to get through all these comments. I just hate WordPress. UI is awful. I completely disagree. I think Joomla's a UI nightmare. WordPress is good. Now, the problem is, if you're installing WordPress and using one of those crappy Envato ThemeForce themes, you're going to have a nightmare working with it. In fact, I just got one of those. We're taking one of those over from a big company in Boston, I think. And they hand me the site, and it has one of these things installed. They had 46 plugins, 29 of them were out of date, 3 completely out of date themes, excess crap going all over the place, and 100,000 little UI things going everywhere. All of that is because they installed a bad theme and had a bad developer. WordPress at its core, done right, is way better than Joomla could ever hope to be on its best night. But some of it also is how used to it are you. But I used to develop in Joomla way more than WordPress. I moved over to WordPress because Joomla was just a nightmare, particularly when the versions changed. And that's what you have to watch for, is that if the version changes, it could kill everything, because they don't really worry that much about back compatibility and updates. At least they didn't last time I was following them more closely. Then no, WordPress does not have very many vulnerabilities. Usually a WordPress site is hacked because you are installing those crappy ThemeForest Envato themes, and they come prepackaged with plugins that are hack targets. Revolution Slider and Visual Composer, major hack targets. If you have those on your site, you have to be extra vigilant on security. But WordPress itself is good. It's just the matter of what else you're putting on top of it. It's just like the browsers. Why did they dump all those old plugins? Because they were major security vulnerabilities. That's the same thing with WordPress. That's why when I'm building a site for somebody through WordPress, I build the entire theme up from the ground using a custom code base that doesn't have the extra security vulnerabilities and things that all of these extra plugins. So if I build you a WordPress site, it's likely to have 4 or 5 plugins, absolute max, and those are all the extra security things. Or little odds and ends that really don't have any security issue. So that's kind of the deal with WordPress, and then people don't update their site. So those are the reasons WordPress is fines. Gaming on Linux, can't remember if it's .com or .org. Not crazy about KDE Plasma, but it fits my workflow, and I was getting used to it with Antergos. Yeah, KDE fits my workflow. The reason I don't use it for a main production computer is Dolphin is way too slow of a manager. And it's funny because a lot of people I'll be talking with were like, Dolphin rocks, it's really fast or whatever else. It's like, I have no experience on that. On every KDE build I've ever had, Dolphin is less than half the speed of Nemo. I mean, I go to drag something over, it's just huge lag in dragging and dropping. Huge lag when I click to something to open. Just huge lag in how it works. It just doesn't work well. That's why I don't use it, because I work off the desktop and off the folders. I need to double click something and have it open. Nemo works perfect. Dolphin, not so much. I like it. It's just not as good as Nemo, in my opinion. For managed WordPress and forwarded email. Managed WordPress. That's okay, but I'm a WordPress developer, so. All right. Might be the kernel. Yeah, that could explain it. Go back to an older kernel, see if that works. No, Richard Stallman has done weird things. Yeah. Corora and Viper Alpha. I think Fedora Remix using Rawhide is true to the edge. All right. You've ever worn a tinfoil hat, you would know this. Used to have WordPress and had decent luck, but somewhere my hosting service was hacked and the provider swore up and down it was WordPress. I did not agree with them. Yeah, if you're on a shared platform, I've actually had cases where if you're on a shared platform and there's a vulnerability on someone else on that platform, they could get in and gain root access to a shared server. And so that's one of the things you have to be careful of. I saw a lot of that because I can track the IP address. Like, why is the IP address hacking my site, but it's not my site? Because it's someone on the shared server. That's why. The years on Linux, the same result today with Peppermint 8 and Ubuntu Mate every time. Then we want to try a solid independent OS based on real hardware. Yeah, you can do old games. Like, every old game I've ever looked at works well, except for, I still have my old computer game Worms. The only reason that doesn't work well is it doesn't seem to get along with HD screen resolution. It won't even work on Windows well on an HD screen, but if I cut it back, so if I took the computer and plug it into the TV, which is not HD resolution, it works. It's just running it on my HD screens do not. But yeah, you can do all the other old stuff on Linux just fine. Boy, I'm never going to get through all these comments, I don't think. We'll have more lightweight distro from Fedora. Try Viper Alpha. Huh. You will never see EA on Linux. Probably not. They're too much in bed with Microsoft. Is Bluefish useful for web design? Absolutely. Bluefish is the default web editor that I use on Linux. Bluefish rocks. Particularly on Nemo, where you can FTP directly into your file server directly through Nemo. Do that, mount the Nemo drive onto Bluefish, and you can live edit directly on your server. A little dangerous, but I like to do that every now and again. I've never laid my eyes on Joomla. It's scary. Ah, my soda is done. I think that's the first soda I've had in like a month. Who's waiting for MX17? I am. It's cool. It's a cool distro. I mean, the Bluefish comment or the UI, WordPress UI sucks. Oh, hold on. Maybe, Mark, I missed a comment. I use Bluefish. It rocks. I use WordPress. It works. I think both their US are good. Bluefish, maybe the UI could be a little bit better in some places, but I don't know. I have no idea, Mark. I've lost track, and I have so many comments on here, I cannot keep track of what's going on. There are other Drupals that work great. I've only developed one site on Drupal, and it was a nightmare. See you later, Joe. Yeah, I think I need to end this up because I think Big Daddy's probably starting up soon if he hasn't already. So I think I'm going to jump off here in a few minutes. Let's just see if there's any more quick comments that jump out. Yeah, I will be glad to build your WordPress for you, Mark. Not a problem. Stefix strongly dislikes WordPress. All right, that's cool. Yeah, new WordPress has done a whole lot of good stuff. How much longer are you gonna stream? You should do live more. Yeah, I do a live on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday on this channel. I do a live on the Christian channel on Thursday. Thursday is 9. Friday is 9. Wednesday is 7. And I'm thinking of changing this stream instead of 9 o'clock on Saturday. I'm thinking of changing it to 5 o'clock on Saturday for some people who wanted some earlier ones. I should really throw up a streaming schedule on my main website. I should do that. Analytics, I'm back. My power went out. Ah, the power went out. Welcome back. Welcome back. Is there a single web service you would buy right now? Keep it on a 20 per month. What do you mean web service? Like, I mean, obviously I have a VPS that I use for my websites and to sell web hosting space to my clients. So I use that, but pretty much that takes care of all my service needs because I run all my email through it. I run, domain management through it, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know, though. Found it. You were on Big Daddy Linux Live. Oh, what was I doing? I'm guessing you're asking about what, I was, some web program. Do they sell text messages, phone calls, emails for profit? Who? All right. Well, it looks like Big Daddy is on, and I'm out of comments, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this train up. So we will catch you guys later. Tomorrow, Outdoor Philosophy, I'm going to be talking about simplifying your shopping. Simplifying your shopping. So we're going to talk about that one. Monday, top 5. Not sure exactly what we're going to do yet, but we're going to do something on the top 5, and then we'll get into some various distros, software, etc. So thanks for watching, guys, and we have to end on an obligatory kitty treat. So let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll go ahead and end this up. Oh, kitty. Up here, buddy. Up here. There you go. And turn this way. And smile for the camera. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, one more. Last one. There you go. All right, folks. Have yourself a wonderful night. And I'm going to jump over to Big Daddy. So catch you over there if you want.